You've tuned in to the BAM Pod, brought to you by Black Bear Diner, Chicken Ranch Casino Resort, Mercury Marine, Vexus Boats, StoreQuest Storage Solutions, Bass Boat Technologies, and Tackle Warehouse. Now, kick back and enjoy the next great episode of the BAM Pod.
Competitive anglers powered by Mercury Pro XS Outboards have won more bass fishing tournaments than all other brands combined. With lightning-quick acceleration, legendary reliability, and lightweight design, Pro XS has everything you need to travel farther, faster, and harder.
All right, everybody, welcome into the show. This is the BAM Pod. I am your host, Big Ed, and on the line tonight, I have got two. I was going for three, but I got two of them. I got Ty Manarola and Joe Mariani. They're coming in on the show. We are going to dedicate this show to talking about that new bait out there that nobody really understands how to fish except for these young guns and a few of them old ones like Bryant Smith, that are just starting to learn this thing. So you know what, guys, welcome into the show. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, appreciate it. I didn't know if you were talking to us or the crowd. I was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to say thank you or not.
Nope, it's the only crowd I have in here is my dog. She's over here. She's not going to say anything. I guarantee it. No, guys, I went out there. I was looking for three good anglers, all young guns that kind of understand these baits, weighted. And the only reason I really think about the young guys when I do this is because I know that when information goes in, it comes out differently than just dragging something behind. If I go out there and get some of the older guys, they're gonna be like, I don't know, I put it on a drop shot and throw it out there. Okay, cool. And I know that's a valuable or a viable way to fish it. I know that's a way to actually use it. But I was watching the show. I was watching I think it was MLF BASS, one of them a couple weekends ago, and these guys were flipping these things. They were skipping them under docks. They were flipping them into the brush. So what I decided I needed to do was go ahead and get some guys on here, and let's break this thing down a little bit. So let's break down the urchin bait. Let's see. I'll flip a coin. I don't have one, but I'll flip one. And you know what? Let's start with Joe Mariani. He's right here looking at me. So let's do that one. Joe, let's talk about this bait. It is something that kind of hit the market, about 2 years ago now? And it came out as a dice. Then it went to an urchin. Then it went to, you guys have said some names. I've heard some names. And then this year at ICAST, it exploded. And every manufacturer out there's got one. Yamamoto's got one. Z-Man's got one. You name it, they've got it,
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about how in the heck do we fish it? What do we target with it? And what is it good for? And if you happen to know what it actually is supposed to be emulating, I'd love to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so I've been playing around with this bait now for probably about a year. It took a long time to actually dial in what you're looking for with this bait, because there's a couple specific things. Because you can fish this bait for suspended fish over 100 foot of water, or you can fish this bait, in 1 foot of water. So there's all kinds of situations for it, and that it varies, but how you're gonna rig it with like the weight, and because when you have suspended fish, it's hard. Those fish are moving, right? So I found that if you can find fish that are on grass or sitting on a piece of structure like a dock at Clear Lake or whatever it may be for structure, those are the easiest fish to target with this bait, because it sinks super slow and it's super hard to cast. So the main deal with it is, really finding the right weight that you're putting in the bait. That is the main deal, because if it sinks too fast and when you start popping it away, the fish become uninterested. You want to pop it and that bait to just explode in front of their face and pop out, and that's most of the time when you get them to bite. So
all right, now Ty, he just talked about maybe throwing it out there, fishing in our grass. Is that the way you fish it? Is it something that you do you, or do you have another kind of style?
Yeah. Well, originally, yeah, I think that's kind of what we all thought it was limited to was mainly, if fish set up on structure that were kind of holding still, whether, like you said, dock posts, grass, wood, anything like that. We kind of used it because it's such an almost inefficient bait, which is why a lot of guys use it on live scope because it sinks super slow. If it's not sinking super slow, it doesn't have the right action to get a lot of bites. So we were mainly targeting fish that we knew weren't moving and that were easy to target with it, like fish suspended on dock posts and stuff like that. And I've been throwing it for about 2 years now, and I didn't realize the potential of it for fishing for floaters and suspended fish and stuff like that until this year. Actually at Clear Lake as well. And yeah, we've kind of now that it's the craze, people are starting to unlock it, if you will, and it's limited to nothing. Guys are catching, like Joe said, fish in 100 foot of water, suspended, floating around. Guys are catching fish, skipping docks, and flipping cypress trees with or without scope. Um, it's uh, it's just a bite getter. It obviously came along more of a as more of a, at least in the states, came along more as a scope and bait. Before, when the few guys the Japanese guys that were throwing it, they were throwing it like a jig on the bottom
Huh.
and catching them on it. And then people started, kind of suspending it in the water column and catching them. Now, like myself, a guy that scopes a lot, I've caught him on it in pro-ams flipping grass with the dang thing, just pitching
Yeah.
it to the edge and popping it back. So it's truly unlimited what this bait can do. And I think we've only scratched the surface of rigging and how to present it, but it is really, I've never seen a bait besides maybe a glide bait where there's a certain population of fish that are just not interested in anything you throw at them, and then you throw that thing at them and it's like they've never seen a bait in their life. It's crazy.
All right, Joe. So when I look at this thing, I don't even have a clue. But you know what? How it's supposed to work, what it's supposed to do, I don't think anybody out there really knows exactly. But you know what? They said that same thing about the Senko, and to this day, I believe they really still say that about the Senko. So it's a bait that, you know, it's it's becoming popular, really popular. Like Ty just said, but I see the one thing that's I guess is going to be the most confusing out there. Some guy going out there, some angler going out there to buy it. What am I buying? Is there a size to them? Is there a color that's very good? Is there something that I've got two of the guys who fish it a lot. Do either one of you know what it is? And what the heck am I supposed to buy when I go to buy it?
Yeah. I mean, so the main thing is the sizes. There's primarily three sizes. You got like the 13 millimeter koi key, the 17 millimeter koi key, and then the big one, the full cast. And it basically, the way that I refer to the sizes is, the size of the bass that you're targeting. So if you're going for spotted bass, smaller mouth, you kind of want to target. I prefer like the 17 millimeter, and largemouth, the full cast works great. Like you can't go wrong there. If you're around big largemouth, the full cast catches them. But at Brownlee in the last Super 60, I actually got on the final day, pretty good bite on the 13 millimeter koi key. And I chose that size only because, the smallmouth had tiny mouths. I'd messed around with the 17 up there the first 2 days, and they were coming up and reacting to it, but I actually couldn't get them to bite it.
Hmm.
So I finally switched over to the 13 millimeter, which is really small. It's really tough to cast, but that's basically it. It's just the size of fish that you're targeting is the way that I mess with the sizes of the bait.
Okay, then let's throw the other one up to you, Ty. What kind of colors are you using, and what is it? What is it that you really target I guess when you pick a color, like I think when you pick like a Senko, you're picking like natural shad, green pumpkin, things that are matching the hash, matching maybe I don't know what the heck they're supposed to still be, a bait fish or a crawdad or whatever, and you throw that thing out there. With this thing, I mean, sea urchins are purple. Are we supposed to only fish them as purple?
Yeah. Yeah. So the color steel's interesting because I'm still playing with it. Actually, for spotted bass, my best colors have been shad colors, which makes no sense. It looks like a sea urchin, but a clearish, shaddy type color like salmon pepper or whatever. Um, I think as far as like what it emulates, I think it emulates something that moves water, that has a big presence, but still looks natural, and they haven't seen it. I don't think they think, oh, that's a crawdad, or oh, that's a ball of fry. I've heard that. I've heard ball of fry. I've heard, oh, 10 years ago when they were micro like babies, they used to eat microorganisms in the water and they remember like, dude, I think it's just something that moves a lot of water, has a good presence in the water, that has a cool action that they haven't seen. I don't know if it's necessarily like emulating something specific, which is also, I think, like the colors spectrum on it and stuff isn't like super. It's pretty wide. I mean, I've caught them on pretty much every. I mean, I've caught them on black. I've caught them on shad colors. I've caught them on green pumpkin. I've caught them on purple. Kind of translucent watermelons. I mean, I don't know. I just think, just like anything else, you're matching the size to the size of fish, like Joe said, to that and water clarity and pressure. Um, and same with the color. If you're in real clear water, go with a smaller bait sometimes and a more natural color. If you're in dirty water, go with a bigger bait and a little more bold color. Maybe go with a scupper nog instead of a green pumpkin blue or whatever. But I think it's more of the water movement of it than anything that really gets them fired up. But I normally, your baseline colors. If I could pick one, it'd be green pumpkin, and I bet Joe would say the same.
I was going to say, Joe, let's ask you the same question.
Hmm.
Is the color, have you found that the colors make a big difference in them, or is it just go by whatever?
Yeah, I mean, the like Ty said, I mean, the colors. I've caught them on every color as well. Every once in a while, you will find into a day where one color is like way better than others that you've been messing around with. But very rarely, for the most part, you go with the natural colors and they work. I mean,
Okay.
it's pretty, go with the shad color, go with the green pumpkin, go with your natural colors that you'd throw with any other bait, and that's kind of the baseline for that.
All right. Now, both of you said something, you both mentioned Clear Lake. Clear Lake is one of those bodies of water where I don't really think of throwing things like that. I'm more of a flipper pitcher, this kind of thing. I want to be out there, throwing something that moves along and is big, big going after these big fish. But both of you said, you know what, you go with this, what'd you call it? Let's see, it's called the
Full
full what?
cast.
Full
Cast, yeah.
cast? Okay. And I tried to write it down. I can't read my own handwriting. Bad pen. It's one of those things that's like, so you go out there. Now you're fishing around grass at that point. You're fishing around, a lot of structure, a lot of things like that. Are you looking for rock piles when you're at Clear Lake? Are you looking for open water? Are you looking for that thick, dense grass to fit this thing through? And if you are, how are you getting this thing into thick grass like that? I mean, can you flip it and pitch it, and how do you make it work? Let's I don't care which one of you pick.
Go for it, Ty.
Let's give it a
Yes.
tie.
Appreciate it, Joe. So yeah, as far as like fishing it around structure and cover, like if you look at this urchin, this is a full cast.
Oh,
Um, this bait's arms are really stiff, and that helps you. They almost, which is why the hookup ratio is a problem for a lot of people. But that they also act as like miniature weed guards. It helps deflect it off of stuff. So you can, if you happen to lay this thing down on top of a little bit of grass and pop it through, almost like a trap or something else, you can get it out. And it's got drawing power from all the movement of water, so they'll come for it. So like if you're fishing it over grass, you just keep it right above the grass, just like a chatterbait or anything else, right? And with the use of forward-facing sonar, obviously that helps a lot. But you can do it blind too. Kind of feel the cadence of the bait and understand how deep the grass lays out, and you'll be fine. And then as far as Clear Lake, the first time I threw it there was this spring in the one bass. It was amazing. Had almost 37 pounds on it day one. It was awesome. And I caught one off a dock pole, one off uh, like a regular just dock platform in the shade. I caught one off of a pole, just random pole in the middle of the lake, and I caught two that were just swimming. So like I said, it is limited to nothing. Um, it
just swimming.
It can make a bass bite. I know that. If they see it right now, there ain't. I mean, it doesn't work all the time, every day, in every situation. Don't get me wrong, but if you can get a bass to see that bait, phew, it's pretty tough. If
Yeah.
you work it right. If you work it right, and you got one fired up. The hardest thing is just being so accurate with it because it is such a slow sinking bait, like Joe was saying. And it's a catch 22 because the more weight you add, the more fishing you are with it, the more fish you're able to get it in front of, especially suspenders. But the more weight you put in it, the less your bite percentage is going to be because you're not going to get that almost jerk bait suspend style action after it pops. You want it to stay right there in their face, and that's what they hate. So kind of got to get that perfect balance.
Ever struggled to navigate shallow waters without damaging your boat? Realize your boat's potential with outboard motor performance products from Bob's Machine, an award-winning world leader in the marine industry since 1978. With over 45 years of dedication to quality, Bob's Machine offers innovative hydraulic transom jack plates and accessories for your boat.
So now both of you mentioned weight. The fact that it's A is really hard to cast. B is, it's light, so I mean, it's going to drop. I saw right there. It looked like you were rigging it with a treble hook. Joe, it's one of those things. Do you add? Oh, I don't even know how to put this out. How do we rig it? How do we work it? How do we make it work? Because guys are going to be out there going, it looks like this big ball, and now you've got all these tentacles on it that you just said are like weed guards, and they're going to be deflecting stuff. Well, how do you get positive hookups? And has it been an issue with that as far as like neither one of you are you missing fish a lot on it? Or so if I'm going out, it's the first time I'm throwing it, which the first time I throw it will be the first time I throw it because I haven't thrown it yet.
Yeah, I mean, there's there's a million different ways to rig the bait. I mean, so I found that if you go with the treble hook on a bigger style like a 20 millimeter or the full cast or any of the bigger size quickies, um, the treble hook has the best hookup ratio, no doubt. The problem that I found with when I first started messing around with bait was with the treble hook, the fish, when you hook them and they come up and jump, they would throw the bait all the time. So that was when I was first experimenting. So I ended up messing around with a couple different weighting systems, and there's a bunch of them out there. Like one of them is like the jewel baits, I think it's called, and it has like a hole inside of like a nail weight kind of, and you can. What I do with that one is like I'll heat up the weight, get it super hot, and then I'll shove it into the plastic because this plastic's really hard. So it's hard to get weights inside of it. So I'll melt it into the plastic, and then you can hook one of the treble hooks through that hole of the weight and the plastic of the bait. And I found that you lose a lot less baits doing that. Like
Okay.
a ton less. And then with the smaller size quickies, like a 17 millimeter or a 13 millimeter, I'll throw a single hook, like a talisman, similar to like a Nico rig hook.
Okay.
Um, I found that that's the best hookup ratio for me with the smaller baits.
All right. And what about you, Ty? Is that something that you have a problem with losing fish? I mean, if I'm going out there and guys are gonna be like, God, every time I get bit on it, I lose fish. Is that a normal thing, or is that something you guys are like, hey, I get bit 35 times and I catch 5 of them?
Yeah. So kind of like Joe, when I first started using it, my land percentage probably wasn't even 50%.
Hmm.
And what was key for me more, and I've toyed with every rigging technique and I've got a few different ways now, but what was key for me is when I realized in my head when I first started throwing it, I was like, it's a dice still, you know what I mean? Like
Okay.
it's a dice style bait. And I've thrown a lot of dice style baits before this thing, and they're super finessey. And they're a size 4 drop shot hook and 6 pound test or 8 pound test, and really just leaning into them, you know? And with this thing, like I said, these are weed guards, basically. They are as stiff as a weed guard. And you want a bait that's super stiff like this because that's what's going to move the most water and have the best action. So the ones that are the best, whether you get a knockoff original, you want the stiffness in the arms. But with those weed guards, quote unquote, when I realized that you have got to blitz their butt with the thing and give them nothing, life got a lot easier. So I
Okay.
went from throwing it on even the full cast I was trying to throw on a spinning rod at the beginning, and I went to a 7-1 medium heavy U-call stick, 20 pound.
Uh-oh. Ty locked up on us.
Uh-oh. Lost him.
We're down to Joe. He'll pop back on, I'm sure, or he'll
Yeah.
probably get a call.
Flipping it around or whatever.
Oh, there he goes. You cut out you cut out there for a minute. So
Oh, sorry. I was saying, yeah, I like throwing.
you just talked about you were just switching your rods from you were trying to and I'm guessing everybody's gonna try to throw it on a spinning rod, but you were talking about you just switched it over to a bait caster and medium
Yeah,
heavy.
yeah. So the big one I throw in a bait caster and 20 pound line now.
Okay.
And then the smaller ones, the 17 and 13, I throw on a medium spinning rod and still throw 12 to 15 pound leader and lock my drag down until I hook them and hook them hard, because you got to drive that hook with all this in the way, all these, quote unquote lead guards in the way. And so once I figured that out, I have friends that still throw even the big one on a single hook, quad, treble, frog hook. I
Okay.
like either a treble or a quad, a single on the 13. But for the 17, I throw a size 1 treble. For the full cast, I throw a 2-aught, either treble or quad. And then if I'm around grass or wood, like heavier cover, I'll throw the frog hook. So that's my preference, but that's completely preference. I think the biggest key, especially with the full cast, is beef up your rod, have it short enough to where you can actually twitch it and manipulate the bait good, but enough meat to where you just give it to them and grind them in like a glide bait, give them no time, or like a mag spoon, like you want to just hammer time them and give them nothing. Like especially on the full cast at Clear Lake in practice and in the tournament, I boat flipped a couple 8+ pounders. Like, just didn't even think about it, just grinding them. You know what I mean?
Any reason either one of you would not use braid with it? I mean, when guys are going to hear about going to the Delta to use it or going to the Clear Lake to use it. It's like, is braid an option, or do you want to stay? And if you do use braid, do you want to use 20-pound braid? Do you want to use 65? 80?
Yeah, I kind of
Gotcha.
think you want braid. The reason I say that you don't want braid is, because you get the stretch with the
Right.
fluorocarbon, and you're popping this bait around, so you kind of want that little bit of stretch.
Okay.
To get that action, in my opinion. I haven't messed around with braid, so I can't speak on it all that much, but I think you want that stretch in your line to get the bait to work, in your favor. Let the bait do the work and not use so much with the braid.
Okay. Are these expensive baits?
um, Depending on which one you get, but if you get an original right now, like, there's people that would probably pay, I don't know, what do you think, Joe? $200 on eBay for this thing right now?
Yeah, they're expensive. The real
$200 for that?
Supply and demand, dude. They cannot keep up with demand. They had one barge of them or something get caught on the ports and hasn't gone through, and they just got a shipment in that went instantly. I've never seen a craze like this. I mean, you could stock 10,000. I can't remember how many they brought to the classic, and they sold them out on the first day. It was insane. You can't. The demand is so high.
Yeah, I'm sticking with robo worms.
You can definitely find like a couple good ones that aren't the quote unquote koiki.
Okay.
I've actually got one right here, Shaps Baits. This one right here, this is like his full cast style.
Okay.
That one,
I mean, that's enough. That's a $200 in packaging right there. So
yeah,
let's.
I mean, those, like these ones, like I've had this little one. It's been in my truck for however long, and it stays in its perfect form. That's a big deal. You want them to stay to where they're not all hanging and sagging, because you'll get some of the knockoffs that they're all smushed up because it's just the knockoff kind of plastic stuff. So, but there's a bunch of different types. I mean, they all work, but some work better than others for sure.
Well, I saw a post by an angler you guys know, Conrad Demekis, sorry. And he was out there, and he post this thing. I guess a buddy of his brought over, and he had them all in a box, and they were like in a ball at that point. They'd all turned out, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's like, if you're talking about $200, I don't care, $50. Let's say it's cheap, and I find it for $50. I don't want those all watered up in a big ball somewhere. How do you have to store them separately? I mean, you still got that one in its package. You got another one that you've been has sitting out. How do you guys store these? How do you keep them from be going from $200 down to, worthless? And
Yeah.
the other side of that is, how many fish can you catch on one before you just have to go, yep, it's gone?
Oh gosh, that is a good question. As far as storing them and like, so the originals are like TPE, which is like the stretchy type plastic, which
Last
is,
textile.
yeah, is volatile.
Okay.
So getting them too hot, don't leave them in your boat in the summer months. I keep mine in I need to get one of those special boxes that everybody's getting. But I think we all learned the hard way. I'm sure Joe did too, of just leaving one out on your deck or putting it here, there, not in the package, being lazy and I've got like a kill pile of ugly misfits that have been warped and ruined, and it's pretty sad. But now I just keep them. If I'm not using them, they're in their original box. Or like this one, I ruined its box, so I've got literally line that I cut off braid, and I've just been hanging it from my shelf, so it just sits like it would in the box all the time.
Huh.
Um, I know Mason McAbee, who was supposed to be on but couldn't make it. I heard he hangs them in his fridge because that heat. But like the regular plastisol ones, like the Alpha Ouchie and some of these other ones that are good baits too. You got those ones are way more forgiving when it comes to that. It's any of them that are that TP that stretchy ones that you got to be really careful how you store them.
So Mason's not on here right now, so we can talk a little bit about him. So Mason's got a bunch of these things hanging in his refrigerator. Uh-huh.
That's what he
They
told
must
me.
taste. They must taste great. I'm telling
That
you.
is insane.
I think that's. Man, they must be a good bait. It must be something we should be out there looking for. Guys going out there to, anglers. I say guys. I always got to do that. There are so many women anglers out there now. One living in my house with me. That are gonna find this thing and go out there. As soon as they come up with one of these in a margarita mutilator, my wife's gonna have one. I'm telling you right now, that's happening.
No, it is literally the best bait you've ever fished in your entire life. It's unbelievable.
Well, I've seen the TV shows. The way you guys just talked about rigging it, the biggest one that came up was there when Ty was talking about that was the frog hook. I heard. So I'm watching this show, trying to do as much research on these things, and for this show, I'm trying to do some research on it. And there's Mark Zona, and he's showing how to rig it with a frog hook, and he's doing basically what Joe was talking about. He's like drilling a hole through this bait with a I don't know, little something hot, metal poker or whatever, and then inserting this frog hook in there. Now, I guarantee you he was using a Z-Man one, because it was like one of the hardest things I've ever seen him try to do, is just trying to get it to manipulate it to go through. But then
Yeah.
he got it in there, and then he's rigging it on the other side and then pulling it through. And it's like, wow, that's very interesting. It seems like it's hard, but I don't know how long. I mean, if you're using an Elastec one, I'm guessing you can probably catch at least 50 fish on it before you're going to have to toss it out. But then if you're using one of the other ones that are using some of the more common plastics, do they tear apart pretty good? Is it like a Senko in the sense that you throw it out, you catch two fish, and you're done with it for the day?
No, they
It's the
last
opposite.
forever. They last. You could catch as many fish on the bait until you lose the bait. Like, as far as I've found, I haven't had one get ruined yet.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%. You're either gonna break them off, you break a fish off, or
Yeah.
hang it up in something. If you got it figured out how to rig it to where it won't, because it is such a stiff plastic on purpose for that,
Okay.
water displacement. If you rig it right, with either a keeper, I use these little keeper deals, that just slide over the hook once you hook it through, or you can do like a lot of people, like what Joe's talking about, how they manipulated the nail weight to where it sticks through on the other side and holds it on. When we were first doing it, me and my buddy Nathan were just super gluing the one point of the hook into it, and I went didn't go through very many with that either. Screw lock, anything like that. I got a buddy in Texas, Andrew Rickman, who's been killing the game. He's been winning. He got banned from some tournaments already with trails this year because he's literally winning everything he fishes. And he's told me he's got one 17 millimeter that has like not left the end of his pole for, and he guides like this guy's fishing 4 to 5 days a week most of the time. And it's just, he's caught a countless amount of fish and 10 pounders on it. And it's still working to this day.
Hey, Northern California bass anglers. Ready to elevate your fishing game? Ford Fairfield partners with Bass Angler Magazine to offer top-notch trucks tailored for your needs. Our simple pricing ensures a fair deal and exceptional service. We live and breathe bass fishing, participating in local tournaments to understand exactly what you need so you never miss a good bite. Visit Ford Fairfield today and let's hit the water together.
Hey folks, Randall and I want to talk to you real quick about choosing the right electronics mount for your bass boat.
Mark and I have been partnered with Bass Boat Technologies from the very beginning, and we know the quality and effort that Van Foster has put into this company.
Custom, that's the one thing that I think about whenever I think of Bass Boat Technologies. Van Foster has spent years, not hours, years perfecting these mounts. He works with just about every bass boat company out there, most models for every bass boat company out there. He has spent the time working on these bass boats. So what you get is a custom fitted mount, not some mass produced universal mount for every bass boat out there. Van makes them custom fit for your bass boat.
Bass Boat Technologies also makes a lot of other custom parts. Seat pedestal plugs, tool holders, steering wheel spacers, and battery trays are all made with the same attention to detail that Bass Boat Technologies is known for.
Bass Boat Technologies is a vital part of our livelihood, and it's very important to your overall boating experience also.
Absolutely, and that's why we choose Bass Boat Technologies. Check them out at bassboattech.com. You'll be glad you did.
That's very interesting to think about. You're going to go out, you're going to spend that much money on it, something like that. What is the original one? It's called a Quakey.
Yep.
Okay. Quakey is the original name. That's the brand name of it. Everybody. And then after that, everybody's just calling them the Urchin Baits, whoever makes them. I mean, I saw, like I said, Z-Man had them, Strike King had them, Pure Fishing, I think, has some there. I mean, there's just a million of them out there on the market. You guys both said you can get some good ones as long as you go out and find some quality ones. There are quality ones out there. Let me see if I can say that correctly the way you said it. But are there ones that I should avoid? And I hate to kind of do that on the show because we don't want to bash anybody, but are there ones that are just stand out besides the Quakey one? Is there one that is just like, you know what? These things are coming out. They absolutely look amazing. And let's go with Joe.
I mean, yeah, there's a couple of them that the plastic definitely doesn't have like the resistance and the strength to give it that right action. I mean, I don't even know how many other like knockoff brands. I couldn't even name them, but I just kind of know the ones that are good. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah,
nobody remembers the bad ones, right?
Yeah, you just want the bait that's got the strong, call them tentacles or whatever you want to call them, to give that bait that the good popping when you pop it away. Because otherwise it just turns into like a jig. You're moving it through the water and those tentacles are just dragging back behind. It's not popping out like that.
Okay.
So that's the main thing.
Well, I'm going to call them doohickeys. So we're out there, and you're talking about that. So that's, I guess, I think the difference, because you did differentiate them, Ty, there. They used to be the dice bait. That was like, I think the dice was like the original form of this whole thing. And
in the US, yeah.
It was just basically like this little square deal with a bunch of frog legs coming out of it. And my guess is that it didn't have that kind of action. It was completely different. That was a totally different bait to fish. But guys are going to, anglers are going to be going out there and they are going to, what's the difference? Which one should I, that way. So the Urchin style is different than the dice. Do they have a special use, or would you just stick to the Urchin bait?
Well, most of the dice style baits are a lot smaller. Okay. So I would say their main, like where they normally shine, is your Lake Mojave's style fisheries where, smallmouth, spotted bass, even largemouth, but super clear water, high pressured scenarios. Uh, in my opinion, I utilized that bait a lot last year in the Bam Trail, and it seemed like the clearer the water, the better for me. But it all depends, man. Depends on the day, depends on the fishery. It's so crazy that was like the whole craze for a while, and now this is the whole craze, and who knows what the next craze is going to be. But it was the minnow, then it was the dice, and then the minnow, and then the dice again, and now the koiki, and next, no, I don't know what the next thing is going to be. Whoever finds it first is going to make a hell of a lot of money. I know that.
I say we go out there, get an Alabama rig, and just stick nothing but all these different baits on there.
Pick one, boys.
One of those Picasso 18s or whatever. But it's one of those things now when you're fishing that dice one, though, because of the action that you're talking about with that flaring, I'm guessing they don't flare. That's a totally different way to fish those things because they don't have that. You're talking about a bait that you want to throw it. I'm going to go off of what you guys said. This is how well I listen. So you throw it. We're going to see if I listen. You throw it. You're throwing it out there. It's sinking down. If you're scoping it, you're doing, your one thing. And I guess that's the way. If you're more traditional, you can do it below you. But you're throwing it out there and you're letting it fall really slow. And as you see the fish cart start to come to it, you want to pop it a little bit and let it do that flare thing, and then stop right in their face.
Yep.
And then it'll continue to fall, but that's when they're going to react to it the most. And if you see them kind of coming at it, much like a rip bait, much like something else, do you continue to manipulate it, or do you want to keep it dead still?
You want to move it. Yeah, you want to move it as much as you can.
Okay.
As fast as the fish is chasing it, you keep popping it until he bites it.
Yep, you match the mood of the fish. The hotter they're coming at it, the quicker you move it. If they're super lazy, maybe float it a little more in their face, but just like, a minnow or anything else, you want to match the mood of the fish. When they're coming super hot and they're vertical and they're flying at it on scope, it's kind of like a duck going into a decoy. The only thing you can do is mess it up. You know what I mean? And all you want to do is make sure they don't get a good look at it at that point, because they're coming. They know it's there. You want to keep that thing moving, keep the cat and mouse thing going, keep that aggressive mindset in their mind. And gosh, it's so much fun. I want to go to Clear Lake so bad right now.
All right, let's go. I got to see that. I got to go out and try this thing. We have not had the opportunity to go do that. I guess you go out and try this thing. I'm gonna have to go buy one now. I got to go break the bank, spend $5,000.
Better get on.
You don't have to. You don't have to, dude. You can get. There's plenty more with
I know I don't have to. I can just wait till you're like, checking in fish. I'll just run down and see them out of your boat. But that's not the point. You guys are always busy for a little while. Unfortunately, I'm always busy with you. But it's one of those things. Yeah, they're like you said. If you're gonna go out and get them, where would you get them? I mean, where would you buy them to get them easiest and best right to your house?
Clear Lake Outdoors, baby. They got a good selection of the, good stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe, you're in a totally different area.
If you want to get the koikis, you got to go to eBay. If you want to get one that I really like, that's really good, you go Chap's Baits, and he'll ship them right to you.
Chad's Baits?
Chap's Baits.
Chap's Baits. Okay.
Yep. He's got them.
Yeah, right, and there's so many coming out now. Like Strike Kings is going to be good. The Hags one is good.
Yeah.
Alpha Angler's Ouchie, which is actually a little bit unique because it's not TPE. It's super stiff plastisol, so it actually sinks on its own. It almost sinks perfectly with just a hook in it. I got fourth at Potholes, and I probably weighed 60% of my fish on an Ouchie that Boomer gave me. So shout out to him. They're good baits. Yeah, there's gonna be more and more coming out.
All work.
All right, well let's switch up a little bit here. We're still going to talk about this bait, but let's apply it to, we've been talking about Clear Lake, we've been talking about largemouth, we've been talking about, you can throw them for spots, but you want to downsize a little bit. We're going to be right in the middle of all that. There's going to be largemouth where we're at. There are going to be no spots, but we are heading up this next weekend. We're going up to Tri-Cities, back up to Ty's area right there. And we'll be fishing up there on the Super 60. He's going to be doing Tri-Cities, and then we're going to be back at Boardman. Is this going to play? I mean, you said Potholes, you said Moses Lake, so I'm guessing it's going to play. Is it going to play really good on the river? And how are you guys going to throw it? Let's start with Ty, since you live there. How are you going to dress this thing and throw it out there?
I want to start with Joe because he's been whooping me with it the past couple months. So let's start with Joe.
I heard Bryant Smith whooped you with it, so come on.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Don't even get me started on that.
All right, Joe, he's giving you the floor. Let's see. How are you going to go out there and whoop on Ty with this thing?
I don't know. I'm gonna go figure it out. That's what's cool about the Super 60 is you dump the boat in and you got to go figure it out, and you got to figure it out quick. So I'm gonna have a couple of them tied on, absolutely, just because of how well it works. And I mean, I've never been there before,
Okay.
so I do not know. I know there's grass, I know there's rocks, I know there's all kinds of stuff. So kind of gonna see if you get around some largemouth, start playing with the bigger size maybe, and then get around the smallmouth, start out with a 13 millimeter, just like Brownlee, and cast that around. I really don't know. That's going to be all figure it out the morning of. So,
All right. No, Ty, what do you got, man? How you are kind of on that same boat? I mean, you live there. You fish that water. You've been itching for this water, for us to go to Tri-Cities for a little bit. So we're going to be up there. Are both of you going to Boardman also to fish the
Well,
pro-am?
I
know
will
Brian
be.
probably will.
I will not be.
You're not going to run up, Joe? Okay.
Nope.
It's just a short drive, but whatever. So Ty, you're gonna be at that one. So we're talking about going. We're gonna be up there. Now, I will tell you, who was the gentleman that won the last event up there off of what was that, Brownlee? Who won that event? Ty.
Rich Craft at Brownlee. Yeah.
So I'm gonna let both of you know going into this, and I know his name, but I wanted you to say it's because Rich told me flat out, if you listen to the last show that I interviewed him after he won on Brownlee, he said he's coming to Tri-Cities and he's taking home the win.
Oh, wow.
Flat out threw it out there.
Let's go.
I'm not even joking. Go back. Anybody that doesn't believe me, go back and listen. He said, I'm winning this thing. Ty can he shouldn't even show up.
Well, good for
Rich
Rich.
Craft has put it out there. Rich, I told you I was gonna do this to you. So he's up there. So those guys got it going on. There's some great anglers. I always say that about Super 60, but there is some really good anglers going to be up there fishing that body of water. And it sounds like everybody I've talked to, it is a good body of water. It should be fun to fish. What do you think, Ty? I mean, this is your body of water. You happy it's going to be there? You're on the line. Your wife's already said she's probably back there somewhere right now listening. She already said you were going to win this thing. So, Joe, it's on you.
Yeah, I am actually not happy that we're going there necessarily. I think I'd rather go to the Boardman pool because I know the Tri-Cities pool well enough for it to spin me out, but not well enough to know what to do when it does spin me out. Since I fished in college the last few years, haven't really spent a ton of time out there. So, I mean, I know it. I know the general areas that normally are good. I don't know it insanely well. I think I need to keep an open mind and kind of like Joe, just go figure out the day. But it'll play for someone. They bite it. They bite it. I've caught fish on it there before last year and a little bit this year.
Is it now? Because the only thing we didn't talk about was smallmouth, and I know you fish for it with small, and I'm sure they'll eat it. Obviously, I mean, there's no reason you wouldn't throw it at some of these other bodies of water. But is it gonna be something like that? And do you just go to the middle size and go for smallmouth? Is it small for spots, big for largemouth, and just medium size for smallmouth?
Yeah, for me, my starting point with smallmouth at least is, and I've caught them on the big one, I've caught them on the little.
Man, he's checking. He's sitting down in his computer at his home, and he still keeps cutting out. All right, Joe. While he's pausing right there, he's still talking right now. He doesn't know that he's off there. So let's talk about his.
There he is.
Oh,
can y'all hear me?
There you are now.
Oh,
do you keep getting phone calls?
No, Elon Musk ain't working too good up there. That's all I know.
Gosh.
But yeah, where'd you lose me at?
I don't remember. We just started talking about you real fast. But it was we were just talking about the smallmouth. You said I kind of start right in the, and then you kind of went out.
Kind of right in the middle. I start 17 is my starting point.
Okay.
So, but I've caught them on the big one. I've caught them on the small one. We're going at a tough time of year.
Okay.
it's really hard to know. Like I've been talking to Justin Campbell, who is arguably the best fisherman on Tri-Cities pool. If I was going to make a pick, sorry, Rich, but I would pick Justin to win this thing. Um, I don't know how many boats. I think he's won like 9 boats on this river. It's insane. But and Ron Mace is dangerous here too, and a lot of these guys, Aaron Ecker and Camp, and I just I've been talking to him, and he's like, dude, I don't know. He's like, we're especially as local guys, we're gonna come in if we come in, say you come in with 16 pounds and 20 keepers on the day. You don't know. You could be in literally 40th or 4th.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know how it's going to go. Like, it could be like just lights out and everybody bags them, or it could be super tough. People are going to catch a lot of fish. That's,
Okay.
that's going to happen, but we'll see. Hopefully the wind doesn't blow too bad because it does get mean. They call it the mighty Columbia for a reason. There'll be bass bait in on quickie. I bet you
Well,
in
I
this
was gonna
tournament.
say, on Moses Lake, it destroyed half the city.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. There'll be a lot of bass weight in on a lot of different baits. That's what's so cool about the river. You can kind of do whatever you want. Reaction baits, finesse baits. You can scope them. You can go frog for largemouth. You can go throw a spinner bait down grass lines. You can go throw a top water all day long. Whatever you're confident in. I'm just gonna follow Joe around because he's just whooping me everywhere we go. So
All right, Joe. So here, you're going up there. This isn't something you've ever fished. Ty's got that little advantage. But I trust me, I fully agree with him. Home field advantage can be exactly that, good and bad all at the same time. I mean, you can go ask Mark Pilgrim about that. He has still not won a Super 60 or anything else on the BAM trail up there on his home water that he guides on, lives on, fishes on, wins tournaments on, can't get it done. You go up to, like, we're going to Tri-Cities. Now you're going to go up there. You got to see this thing for the first time. How is this when you see a scenario like that? Are you going to do numbers? Are you going to do weight? Are you going to just kind of see what happens, play it out?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 events, I kind of just shoot for numbers right off the rip. I mean, if you're catching fish,
Right.
you're gonna catch good ones. Like for the most part, you might not catch the 5 biggest of the whole,
Right.
of the whole tournament, but you're gonna be up there if you're catching a bunch of fish. So I shoot to catch as many fish as I can, and then if they're big, they're big, and then if not, you got the keeper count going for you. So you kind of can't go wrong with that route.
Well, let me ask Ty that question then. What do you think keeper count wise? What do you think you should be looking for? Like 100, 140? What's the number we
yeah,
should be
see,
looking
that's what I was saying. Like when me and Justin were talking about it, we're not gonna know. Like it's such a
at?
these guys are for one, these guys are so good that they're probably gonna they always catch them better than you think they're gonna. That's just always how it is. And I would think in that pool this time of year, kind of a tougher time of year, I would think if you catch 50 keepers in 2 days, you're gonna be around where you need to be. But I could be completely wrong one way. I could be completely wrong one way or the
Right.
other. I have no idea. And weight's gonna be interesting too. It could take 19 a day, or it could take 14 and a half, 15 a day. It's going to be really volatile, and especially with no practice, we don't know, you know. And if I'm going for keeper, weight is really going to depend on how hard the wind blows for me and what the water level's doing. But I don't know.
Tackle Warehouse has everything you need to get out and catch more bass. Rods for every application or technique. Over 1,000 reels to choose from. Monofilament, braid, and fluorocarbon lines. A massive selection of baits from the smallest to the largest. Exclusive baits and colors only available at Tackle Warehouse. Everything you need to build or customize your favorite lures. And of course, countless options to store it all. Tackle Warehouse. Click, save, fish.
I mean, it should be pretty fun up there. I know that, everybody's talked about, the Boardman pool's good. And then right after that, they always say, but Tri-Cities is just so much better sometimes. And yeah, you're saying it's a little tougher time of year to be fishing it. I'm trying to remember when the Boardman, it's like a month later, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
It's one of those, I I like the Boardman pool, but I think Tri-City is going to be pretty nice. We've got some great things going on up there. If you're listening, when you're listening to this show, tuning in, check out the website, bamtrail.com. There are some really cool, buy, shop local, that sort of thing going on. The market's put in place in that too. So be a part of it. Come out and be a part of this. And make, if you're a co-angler, if you're a pro-am angler, what are you doing, man? You're up there in the Pacific Northwest. Hi, this is on your plate right here. You got to get those guys out there, man. They got to show up. They got to come fish. They got to, I know how good they are. I know how good they can be. I saw what happened at Moses Lake. I've seen what happens at Boardman when the pro-ams are there. I've seen what happens at potholes. I've seen what you guys are good anglers and you're out there. Get off the couch. Go prove your worth out there. Joe, you're not going to be fishing that pro-am up there, but you've seen these guys fish. I mean, you know how well the Super 60 fishes, but you also know how good these pro-am anglers are up in the Pacific Northwest. There's some good darn anglers up there, and they're just not getting off and coming out and doing it. What's going on, Ty? That's what's going on.
Get out from behind the keyboard and get on the boat, boys. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's got it lucky. He's only got to fish against the Super 60. Those guys are easy, right?
I never pass up an opportunity to fish a tournament, but I cannot fish that one. It's too far from home, and otherwise I would love to fish it. Absolutely.
Well, it's not that far. So what you do is you drive up there, you go to Tri-Cities, you drive up there and you have your boat, you hook it up, you go back down to Boardman and park your boat in your truck. You get on a plane and fly back. I'll give you a ride with me.
If you pay for my plane ticket, I'm in.
Yeah.
Come on, you got all that farming money. What's going on?
Yeah.
That's the other thing I was gonna say, Ed, is you got to remember you're talking to two farm kids in August and July right now.
You guys grew up and you've been doing this farm thing. I grew up a rancher. I know what pour is.
busiest time of the year right now.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was talking. I got a little scolded on this one because I'm calling it in July, and they're like, this is our busiest time, right? This is when we always got something going on. So you guys should be really grateful that they took the time out this evening to come out and do this. But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting tournament up there. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys both up there fishing it. Richcraft beating you both. I know it's hard, but Rich already said he's going to do it, so I got to.
I'm going to bet Rich a quickie just to make it fun. I love it though. I love the confidence. I mean, he's on a roll, man. He's coming off a big win. That'd be really cool to see. Nobody's won two of them, right? Besides Lee Johns, technically.
Oh, well, no. I mean, wait. Colby won three of them, right?
Pearson's won.
Yeah, Pearson won back to back and almost back. He almost won three in a
Yeah.
I guess that nobody's won two since it became the Super 60 or whatever.
No, that was him. Outside no one's won a pro-am back to back. If that helps.
No, but wasn't that before it was like called the Super 60? Wasn't last year the first year?
That was the very first year that it was the BAM Pro Tour. And it was he won down in the desert at, I can never remember the name of that lake down there. Martinez, that's it. Lake Martinez.
Yeah, I remember watching that TV show. That was crazy.
Yeah, then he went up and won Almanor right after that. So
Colby's scary too. Don't forget that guy's name going up to the river. He speaks. I think he is a smallmouth. Like I think Colby Pearson is a smallmouth. So do not rule out Colby Pearson. And that's the other thing too. You don't let Ken Ma or Ish Monroe find some back bay with 5-pound largemouth in it either. Dude, this is going to be a crazy tournament. Who knows what's going to happen?
There's some guy, he owns Frenzy Baits or something. I don't know. Greg something. Anyways, Greg, and I was going to ask you about this. Greg, I don't know if he still makes it, if it's part of one of his things or not, but he was making this little weighted hook thing. It wasn't the Frenzy Nail. It's another bait that I don't know if you guys have even seen it.
Whack-a-saddle.
The whack-a-sack.
Whack-a-saddle or whack-a-sack.
Is that something that would be possibly to use with this urchin bait at all?
The smaller one, yeah. That's kind of how the Japanese guys were throwing it originally. They're throwing it on like a mini Jika rig and fishing it on the bottom. So I mean, yeah, if that's what you want to do with it, absolutely.
Well, I've got a few in a package in here, and I'm like, I haven't figured out what to do with them yet. But I was like, that looks like it's something I could do. And that's the other thing is the weight. You talk about these things, different styles are going to start kind of. I have a feeling they're going to try to make them to where they fall their own rates and do these things. But you're talking about you want them falling slow. Do you want to add? Do you want to add any? What's the biggest weight like you would ever throw on these things? Like I would never go over a half ounce, quarter ounce, anything like that, or because you want them to fall natural.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, Joe.
I would say.
What?
Depends. I mean, the bigger the koiki you go,
Mhm.
the more, the more
Flotation, yeah.
flotation it has. So, I've never gone past a quarter ounce personally, but
Okay.
you definitely could. I have not.
Yeah, I was gonna say 3/32, so very similar.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it just kind of depends. And like they got this new suplex out. I haven't got my hands on those because I mean it's hard to get a hold of those. I mean,
What is it?
it's a big giant one. It's like substantially bigger than this one.
Really?
And so you'd probably have to weight that one probably more around a quarter to get it to fall at all.
Does it come with
but
hooks in each one of its in each one of its doohickeys?
Oh, that'd
no,
be
but
sick. That
dude,
would be
this
so
people are
sick.
so addicted to this thing, and like it's such a craze. I swear, speaking of Bryant, he literally sent me a picture of his wife's sewing needles through a quickie fish, which is a softer one that like flops around, and he was shoving a needle in every individual little fish arm to make them stiff. Like people are crazy about this thing right now. It's insane, myself included.
Oh, that's yeah. Yeah, I remember when I was trying to remember what bait it was. It was um God, it was you had to throw them in boiling water and all this. Fishermen are crazy. Bass fishermen especially. I don't want to, I don't want to demean you guys too much, but you're crazy. The things you do, the things you come up with, the ideas you have. It's amazing what you think of to make the next thing work or the net, oh, this has got to be fixed and this has got to be that. And then they eventually the companies make them. I mean, I'm interested in seeing what this Z-Man with the Laztec's going to look like. I mean, those things are hard. I fish the Fatty Z a lot. And I look at that and I go, those things are hard to rig. I mean, they're hard to keep. I mean,
It's
they
the
catch a ton
same
of fish.
deal, same
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah.
It's going to be that Elastec with that kind of bait, the way it just, and I don't know, you're going to have to weight that one because there's no way it's not going to float. That thing is going to float. You have to put something in it.
Yeah. Well, these things were originally made to be fished as a topwater. I mean, you think I'm joking? Swear to God. Go on Instagram and look up like some of those Japanese bass fishing videos. They put no weight in it and twitch it across the surface like a little bug under the trees and smash them. That's how it was originally made too. Like this has been around in Japan for like 30 years now.
Really?
And it just got unlocked. Yes, they used to throw it exclusively as the topwater bait, and then kind of over here, people started figuring out, ways to use it on forward facing and stuff. But Joe, I got a question for you. I've been pondering this. You've never fished potholes, I imagine, but you fished the Delta and stuff. What is stopping somebody from taking like a 3/4 ounce no jack flipping jig, taking the skirt off of it, and threading the bait up onto the throat of it and flipping it in the heart of bushes and tulies and stuff?
You better be the first one to go do that,
dude. I don't know why it wouldn't work.
Yeah, the rigging and the way to fish this bait is literally limitless. You could do anything if you come up with a crazy idea with this bait, you have to go try it because it could be insane.
I'm thinking I'm gonna go up to potholes and try it because like I don't see why it wouldn't work. Just flip it in the bush, snap it twice, and then reel it out.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Why not?
No, that's getting bit for sure.
Huh, that's crazy. Well, like I said, I was watching the Bassmaster guys, and they were fishing these things, and they were all of those the cypress trees and stuff, the ones that are hanging right over the water. They just got like this much to get under them, and they were just flipping them all the way in there, pitching them. And I was watching them just pop them, pop, 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 just pop, 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 and it's like what the, and then bam, they get hit it, and it. I was sitting there and I'm going, I have no idea how to fish these things. So watching all these different ways and listening to you guys talk about it now, it's like, try some weird stuff, go do some crazy things.
Yeah.
It's going to work. It's got to work. I mean, you're talking about they were topwater baits. Why are they not still?
That's another great question. That is another great question. When you're catching them on a buzzbait over a grass, like submergent grass, why can't you just take the weight out of a koiki and snap it around once they quit biting a buzzbait? I don't know. It probably works amazing.
Cool, something to do. I mean, I can see going down the Delta. I mean, you're right. You got all those sparse toolies. You can get that thing rigged up pretty weedless with a big, I don't know, mega hook in it or something, and then pitch that thing through there and just twitch it through all the toolies and all the open spaces. I mean, it's got.
That's how we were catching them in potholes. That's how.
No,
that's how we were catching them in potholes. It was super fun. Literally, I bet you it was 50-50 scope fish and not scope fish for me on potholes. Like sometimes I just see a patch of toolies and I'd throw it up there, let it sink for a couple seconds, and pop it back. Like it's limitless.
Brian out here and figure out how we beat you.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You know, Joe, you got it down there, and you go to Berryessa. And Berryessa is one of those ones that, you know, you got everything in it. Is it something that works down there pretty well as far as, you know, you got the grass is there, you got to run up, you know, further north to get it there, but down in the narrows and all that stuff, are you fishing, you know, rock piles, that sort of thing down in there? Are you still fishing it, or you just sticking with something else?
It absolutely works. 100%. I mean, you could, wherever the fish are at, you could target them with this bait.
If it's wet water,
yes,
fish are eating it.
Yeah. If there's water in a bass species, you can catch them on it. It doesn't matter where you're at.
Well, you say that. Have you caught anything else with it? I mean, guys are,
I've caught catfish on quite a few catfish. Yeah.
Okay.
Walleye will tear that thing up too.
I say, is that Ty? Is that what you said, walleye?
Yeah, you got to pull it away from them because you don't want their teeth putting holes in it or anything. It's scary.
See, Ty knows what he's looking at. He knows what the walleye look like on scope. I don't know. I might be catching a whole bunch of walleyes.
Joe, don't worry. You're good enough at scope. You'll be like, wait, that one looks like a 2x4.
Oh.
You'll know pretty quick.
We're going to figure it out the hard way.
It'll only take one.
The more advanced this all gets, I see these new electronics coming out. I know there's new ones now. Mark's been a spy pole. I have no idea what it is. I haven't seen anything about it. I have no. He's all intrigued in that thing now. You know, all the new electronics out there. I swear, each fish needs to have its own little indicator on it. You know, a little. I don't know. Catfish need to have a little top hat or something. I don't know. But I mean, I feel like there's that going on. But when we're talking about this urchin bait that's sweeping the nation, the craze is out there. ICAST was loaded with it. Every time I turn on a show, it's out there. We just pulled in two of our top young guns on our BAM trail right here, and they have just talked it up and talked a lot about how to rig it, how to fish it. Is there anything we missed? Is there something? I mean, you talked about, you know, steak with mono over braid, keeping it maybe closer to a quarter ounce or or less as far as weights. Hooks, you gotta do all kinds of weird things with hooks. Try anything. If it's a notion in your brain, Ty Manarola said this first. Just do it. Well, actually, I think Joe said it first. Just do it. You got to try it. You got to make it happen. That's the way you got to fish this thing. It's a crazy bait. Everybody, yeah, I hope that you go out there and, you know, you try it. And, you know, now we've got this new area we're going to be fishing. The Tri-Cities. It's going to be our first time going up there. Super 60 is going to be up there. Brownlee, we went out there. Did you go out to Brownlee, Ty?
Oh yeah. I hung out. Okay. Did great up there. Yeah, it was fun.
You know, this is going to be on a video, I'm hoping too. So that was a great face. Well, you know, it's one of those things. Joe didn't make that trip, did you?
Yeah, no, I was up there.
Yeah. Joe was actually up there. Joe was actually up there.
I saw a video, and it was Arbuckle and Pilgrim, and they went up there and they were catching, you know, little 13, 14, 15-inch fish, and they're like, man, there are just so many of these up here. And that's basically what I thought. Then Richcraft comes in and, you know, destroys the dang thing and makes it
that place was so fun.
Was it good fishing, actually? I mean,
yeah.
you guys had fun
that place was so much fun. The amount of bass in that place, unbelievable.
Yeah, that whole Snake River has just got a lot of fish in it.
Well, I talked, if you go back and listen to the last 2 weeks ago, that show we did, Rich talked about some serious different ones up there, some bodies of water that he's like, we got to go fish this one. We've got to go fish that one. I know, Ty, you're familiar with the area up there a little bit. Probably, you don't want to roam all over the place up there. It's a pretty big, vast area as well. But there are some good fisheries up there in the Pacific Northwest. And I don't know. You guys are gonna have to talk Mark into doing it to get him out there to go fish that stuff up there.
We have probably the most underrated region in the country for bass fishing. I will say that for sure.
Absolutely. Up until probably 2-3 years ago when we started this whole thing, I didn't know there was actually bass in the Pacific Northwest. And when when they started talking about Columbia River, I was thinking, great, there's salmon and sturgeon. What are you going bass fishing there for? And then I got to experience it and fish it, and yeah.
We need to go. We need to come up to Roosevelt. Me and Boomer
That
fished a
was the
team
one
tournament
right
there.
there.
Me and Boomer fished a team. Rich was in it too, and Nixon's team tournament there a couple weeks ago, and I don't know how many. Kind of like, well, Brownlee for Joe, not for me, but kind of like Brownlee. Like, I don't know how many we caught that day. Probably between the two of us, at least 100, and they were all 2 to 4.25. Just
Yeah.
so much fun, dude.
That's what Rich was he put a move on it on that one. He was like, gotta come to Roosevelt, gotta come to Roosevelt. And he literally talked for like 5 minutes on fishing.
And it's massive. We ran like 60 miles one direction in that tournament.
That's what he said.
That tournament could literally hold 500 boats. Like,
wow.
It would fish massive. I would hate to be a camera boater in that tournament, but yeah, it's huge. It's super cool. Coeur d'Alene's awesome. I've only been there once, but like the town around it and everything's awesome. Great fishery. I mean, people are dropping dang near 40 sacks there of largemouth in the spring, and 26 to 30-pound smallmouth bags at certain times a year.
See, and Joe's just down there fishing the Delta, Berryessa, Clear Lake, little bodies of water.
I want y'all to go to Berryessa, not only because I love giving Joe money, but I've never fished there.
Yeah,
I've never fished there, and I want to go
we
down
need to
there.
get a Berry.
Well, you won the last one we had on Berry. You won it there.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'd like to do that again.
Took home, I think it was our championship, right? You took home the boat, everything on that one. That was yeah.
That was
sweet. No one wants to fish against you anymore now. Look, you ruined it for everybody.
Joe. I know. I guess so.
You got them all running scared, but all right, guys, that is the end of the show right now for this time for the discussion part of it. So now I want to give both of you guys. We're going to start with Joe, and we're going to say, Joe, tell everybody a little bit about yourself, and talk about your sponsors and the things you do, not just farming and that sort of stuff, but thank everybody out there, and then we'll switch it down and we'll let Ty talk a little bit about his.
Yeah. I live in Winters, California. It's probably 15 minutes from Berryessa, so I fish a ton of Clear Lake and Delta, all that good stuff. All the reservoirs kind of in Northern California. I'm very centralized, which is great. So yeah, I fish Berryessa all the time as much as I can. When I'm not farming, I'm up there. But I got a couple great people behind my back. I got Tanner at Boat Pros. I'm running a Bass Cat, a Puma STS. It's probably the sickest boat I've ever ran. I mean, the thing is a tank. It handles waves like no other, and you could go 75, 80 miles an hour in the boat. So Tanner down there at Brentwood at Boat Pros, he's the man. He really takes care of me. I got great support from my family, and that's about it. That's my team.
All right, and Ty, what do you got, man? I know I've seen your wife walking back and forth, new kid in there and all that whole thing. Talk about all your support, man.
Yeah, I got the girls at home. They're my biggest supporters. They've been awesome through all this, and chasing me around and watching me do this. So can't thank them enough for that. But yeah, I've got a lot of great people behind me too. From Eastern Washington. Just bassing, just love bassing, just like all of us do, and really want to just do it full time and chase the dream. And yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that and like start building towards that without the support I got. And Block One Distillery, Greater Bay Protective, Bass Boat Wired, they helped me a ton. UCall International, Rods, Lose, Strike King, Clear Lake Outdoors, running a Skeeter Yamaha this year from Nixon's Marine, using Cigar Line. I mean, I've got all the support system that I've helped. That BAM, really, their platform has helped me grow and build, to where it brings value to their brands, is awesome. And I hope to continue to be doing, growing with them, and my early on relationships, I want to stick with the same people, and continue to grow with them and try to do special things in the future. And continue to catch bass. And yeah, that's about it. I want to catch bass. I like catching bass. Hit me up if you know anything about catching bass.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, this next weekend we will be up there in the Tri-Cities. If that distillery happens to drop off a bottle of one of their finer
They
whiskeys,
are
I might be there, to pick that one up.
The local support, like they were talking about. Yeah, for anybody listening that's going to be around Columbia Point this next weekend, I believe Lulu's and Anthony's are two of the restaurants that are part of the partner support, which are right there at Columbia Point out of our launch site. And Block 1 Distillery is in both of those restaurants. So yeah, go give it a try, and you won't be disappointed.
All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for doing this show. I really do appreciate it. We are going to try something a little different on this one. We got the video going, and we're going to do the voice. So the regular BAM podcast will be out there. And if you go to YouTube, we're going to have this one going on YouTube. Just trying to test out my old skills and see if I can still edit video and everything. So thought it'd be nice to ramp that one back up. We'll see how this goes out there. Joe Mariani right there, one of our great champions. Ty Manarola from the Pacific Northwest right there. He's going to be up there trying to beat Rich Craft. That's right, up there. Both of these gentlemen will be up there doing their thing. So, all right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you in 2 weeks with another great angler just like these gentlemen. Have a good night.